Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Edgerunners HQ and our Cyberpunk RED talk show, Night City Sofa. I am your host, Jessica, or Jess, here alongside my co-host, Games End. Hello, buddy.
Hi! How's it going tonight, Jess?
It's going great. How are you?
Good. A little bit tired. It's been a week, but glad to be here on the sofa.
In a week. Before we get into the show, I want to remind you all that if you have any questions or comments, please do not hesitate to ask in the chat. And tonight we're going to be talking about the Cyberpunk RED Data Pack. This supplemental product released back in 2021, and it helps bring the world of Night City to life. Contained within, you'll find six Screamsheet adventures, 6 lists of people, places, and things around the city, and 12 maps that cover a wide range of situations from the hot zone to a megacorp helipad, if that's where your scene is taking place. Games and I will be talking about these in a bit more detail and giving our thoughts on how to use the supplement in the game, whether you're a GM or a player. So to kick things off, we're going to talk about the Screamsheet adventures. We're going to go in order of the data pack. We're not going to go into the details of the missions. I'll just kind of give a brief overview. So if you haven't played them, it's okay. It's still a spoiler-free zone.
Yep.
For those who don't know, in the world of Cyberpunk RED, Screamsheets are custom-designed newspapers, either printed on flimsy paper or downloaded to your agent via the local data pool. Using these pages of news that creates a Cyberpunk RED, pair them with instructions on how to run a mission based on the information in the Screamsheet. Screamsheet missions are intended to be easy to set up and customize. Customization is especially important if you need to move the location so that it fits the setting of your game, or to tie it into any of the player's life path or backstory. So,
well, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. No, I was just going to say, so it's something I really appreciate about the data pack is not just in this instance, but throughout, they did a really good job of leaving things open enough and or adjustable enough that you can fix it to where it'll work with what you're wanting it to be. So, just wanted to point that out.
And just a reminder, if you really like the mission, but maybe you don't like the NPC who hands it over, or you don't like the end, like whatever is going to be at the climax or something would fit better for what you've already set up, change it.
It's your world. Do whatever the fuck you want.
Yes.
That's the secret.
That's the secret. I'm always making shit up. If you are a player, the Screamsheets might not be an avenue for use. However, if your GM likes to create their own missions and doesn't intend to use them, and you don't mind spoilers, or you've already played through the missions beforehand, consider using the events to bolster your backstory. I thought these would be really great ways to add details for your life path, and I will get into that as we talk about it. So... The first Screamsheet is Hilaria 2045. It's a good combat encounter or way of introducing bozos into your game. As a player, you could consider if you were there during the event. Again, if you don't mind spoilers, if this works for you, right? Whether or not you were there during the event, know someone who was, or perhaps you're moving into the area after the event took place. Those are all possibilities, especially for filling out if you have a friend section, you're not sure about your friend, maybe your friend was involved in this somehow, or an enemy could be there as well.
Also,
or just
on
a
the
life
Screamsheet
event that you can call back to because, hey, there was this one time I was...
You were there for it.
I was here, yeah.
Yeah. Also, I really love the auto translation on the Screamsheet itself.
Hong
on this
Kong.
one. Yeah.
That one?
Yeah.
And the Screamsheets themselves, players can read. Those are safe. They're general. Just don't read the mission details after them.
Yeah, you can give all of them away as handouts, and then if people want to follow up on them, you have mission details and stuff. So.
The next two Scream Sheets are Digital Divas Burn It Down and Don't Fear the Reaper, and those two are linked together when it's meant to be played before the other. In the first, the crew acts as security for a band, and the second one follows an event that occurs during a Digital Diva show from the previous mission. So if you're GMing, I would recommend reading them at the same time so you know what events to highlight before, and what's going to happen, and how much weight you want to put onto certain things. If you're a player, consider what type of concert your character may attend, or what kind of story they can tell from attending a concert. Concerts happen in Night City all the time, so you could totally use it as inspiration of, oh man, I attended this X concert. You could look up Rocker Boys from the Rocker Boy Index, which is a free DLC that released 2 months ago.
Yeah? Yes. Is it that recent? I thought it was a little older than that.
3 months ago? I don't know. Recently.
In the recent future, past.
A few months ago. A few covers 1 to 3, I think.
Right.
Or maybe they were there. Maybe they witnessed, some of these events that occurred.
Also, to point out stupid stuff, because it's kind of my favorite part of all of these books, I love in the Solo of Fortune Classified, the things that are for sale in there. Low yield nuclear warhead, best offer. Or Mr. Stud, used.
Slightly used, yeah.
Yeah.
Or actually, don't even think it says slightly, I think it just says used, doesn't it?
Just says used, yeah.
Yeah. Which is great. I mean, and again, as, a GM, you can take inspiration just from those things. Like, what might be in a classified ad?
Right, yeah.
Or as a player, I'm looking for this thing. Is it possible that there's someone selling it on a classified?
Well, and that first one in the classified that's like, hired gun for milk run, like, no. That's a trap, don't take it. Like,
the next Scream Sheet is called Cargo Race, and it takes place in the Badlands. It has a lot of moving pieces for the GM to remember that's going on at once. But if you would like to showcase, especially mission in the Badlands, or what happens when multiple forces target the same objective, this is the perfect mission for that.
Right, or if which is such a cyberpunk thing.
Yeah, if you're like, how do I do it where, like, all these people have the same information, they're going after the same target, how do I work that? Take a look at this one. Cargo Race.
Right.
The Snuff mission is about snuff BDs and stopping the person who's making them. It's a potentially deadly encounter that brings elements of social encounters, investigation challenges, and combat. It's also a great reminder that not all BDs are safe, and what's labeled on the box may not be the experience that you get.
100%.
I'd also just really double check with this one that all your players, it doesn't go into any details, and of course the comfort level of your table is going to vary, but just make sure you do your safety tool checks if you're planning on running this one to make sure everyone's comfortable with things.
So it doesn't get too dark. I mean, it's by its nature fairly dark,
but it's a dark future, but yeah.
Yeah.
Of all the ones that we've gone through thus far, this one's probably the darkest.
Well, here to have fun until the story don't get too dark with it.
Yeah.
Outside of the comfort zone.
Yes. I say this is the darkest, and it's like, well, the final Scream Sheet is Thrill Kill. It really emphasizes the dark in the dark future, so I was wrong. This one probably for me is the darkest. Thrill Kill is a week-long competition as gangs compete to see who can earn the most points by killing citizens around the city. The crew is hired to stop this bloody event. So if you're a player, whether you've played the mission or not, it could be a great way to bring this into your backstory. If, maybe you had someone that you were close to that was killed during a thrill kill week. Or maybe one of the enemies in your life path was part of this for, whatever reason, you can tie the two together. Maybe you used to be part of a gang that participated and you've since left and are trying to hide that aspect of your life, and that's a really big secret that you're carrying. So a great way to think about, even if you don't play through it, how does an event like that shape your character if they were involved with it.
Yeah. You can add great shades to your story of your own character.
Yeah.
I also like the pro kibble. Throwing that out there.
Okay. That has nothing to do with like the
it's an ad on one of the various Screamsheets.
The ads are great. I mean, the ads are.
I want to know what makes it pro.
It has 10% more protein.
Oh, good to know.
Protein short is pro. That's my theory, and I'm sticking to it.
No, you said it with confidence, so.
That's how you get by with most things. So yeah, I know for me, even though, because I am a player more than a GM, reading these things, it doesn't change anything for me. One, because I have a GM who's never going to run any of these, so it's fine. But two, it's given me a lot of great ideas to either help flesh out a backstory or add points that I wouldn't have otherwise thought to add to a character, especially one in Night City or maybe new to the city. And as a homebrewer as well, the kinds of events that exist in the world. So
yeah,
not something to sleep on.
For sure. And as much as, like, for the last 5 years, I've more or less tried to avoid any of the pre-made stories because I'm like, man, I don't want to ruin them for myself. For the same reason I don't read, like, D&D supplements that are like that. But now that I'm getting into reading them, I'm like you said, like, it really helps expand the world, you know? So.
Yeah. And the great thing about Screamsheets is you can read that first page. It does give you information, even if it doesn't give you all the details. You can still help a bit, so yeah.
Yep.
I enjoy it. GM or player, I think they're really cool to use.
And they're free handouts, even if you do nothing else with them. If you just hand them out to your players and you're like, here's Screamsheets of what's going on.
Yeah, here's some things that are going on in the world.
Yep.
Just to make the world feel alive. The next section in the data pack is 20 Things in Night City section. It contains 18 pages of places, people, and things that you can find in Night City, whether you need a last-minute idea because your players decided to head to a club or not do the thing that they said they were going to do, or if you need help just to fill in maybe a little plot holes that are in the mission that you're building. That's what these lists are for. If you're a player, these lists are perfectly fine for you to look at without spoilers. They're just things that already exist in the world. So again, you can use this to help fill in your life path, or maybe if you're stuck on a thing, asking your GM, hey, can I maybe go here? This is the information I know about it, or I can make a streetwise check to maybe know about this.
Right. Well, I like the way that the whole thing's introduced, because it's like, you know, sometimes as a GM, you've worked out every detail of the mission that your players are going to do. Like, you have notes on everything, you have the chart filled out, you're ready. And they decide they're going to go downtown and look for a good time instead.
Indie bandits. Indie bandits.
See? You could have used this for indie bandits, like, all the time.
I could have! I slept on it. I didn't realize it existed, and it's such a great supplement.
Right. But also with, you know, single player mode coming out soon, like, this is just more lists, more content. So.
More lists per tables.
Though, right. I will say that even though it says to just use 2d10, it's forcing me to use a d100, which is outside of the established dice that Cyberpunk has given me.
Is it? You just rolled the d10 twice.
No.
Yeah.
I have to have a d100 on hand.
Rolls eyes.
But there's a lot of good use for these. Like they talk about, like, when you're doing your life path and you're looking for, like, who an ex-lover or friend or something like that is, you can use one of these. Like, there's a lot of ways to implement these characters.
Or take bits of, the character that you like, and then maybe just change the appearance, the name, whatever.
Right. Well, and they also talked about with these, especially like freelancers. We're going to start with the 20 freelancers of Night City, but they talked about how they intentionally gave you enough information to make a three-dimensional character, but they didn't give you stat blocks and stuff like that because it's your decision of how much of a badass are they. All of the little details that would be necessary for you to fill in to fit your world are still yours to make. They're just giving you well, yeah, but wouldn't it be cool if you knew a guy named John Doe who nobody knew his real name, and So I think it's really neat that they like I said at the beginning of the book, they left it open enough for you to interpret it the way you need to, but they've given you an amazing tool to use. So.
It's very customizable for what you need.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, for the 20 things, did you have something you needed to say? Am I stepping in your notes? I lost our place.
You're stepping in to take over, yeah?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, you're taking the lead. You got this.
So for the 20 things, these are, once again, many pages of just lists, and for the purposes of not physically reading you everything in the book, because at the end of the day, you should just pick this up and have it and use it. So instead, Jess and I are each going to roll one, and we're going to discuss what we get and talk about maybe ways that we could implement it in a story and things like that. So, Jess, we're talking about freelancers.
We are. And
so,
I think I could be wrong. Because I'm, Canadian. Sorry, I'm just going to interrupt slightly before we get to it. So my price is in Canadian, but I'm pretty sure it's $10 for the data pack for a PDF. So.
I think so. I would have to pull it up.
For $10 American. $11 Canadian. You can pick up this great customizable information data pack. Sorry, you want me to roll?
I'm trying to click on your link. Give me a D100. It's $8 US actually.
Ooh, there you go. Even less. Man,
right?
That was so glad I'm not playing Cyberpunk. Well, I guess it could be worse. 12.
Okay. So with a 12, I go on the sheet, and you have ran into Lupita Little Wolf Garza. I can't speak tonight. The shtick with her, I will read out some information about her, I suppose, but she is a medtech. So if you need a very competent medtech that also freelances, this is a good person to know. She is a medtech. Her biggest public claim to fame is that her niece was the lady who ran Maria's. She used to work for Trauma Team, but quit and recently has become a freelancer. Something about ungrateful clients not being worth her time. She has extensive nomad ties via her large family and tends to run nomad ops, but you can still hire her on the occasional independent job. While she wears usual jeans and a punk t-shirt in public, on jobs you'll find her wearing armored scrubs and nitrile gloves. She can patch anyone up who isn't dead yet. I really enjoy that because now we know so much of she did the corporate gig of being in Trauma Team and has decided nah, those guys, I'm not working for clients.
Well, my mother has worked in healthcare for forever. So as someone who has been, tangentially exposed to the healthcare sector from the other side, again, Canadian, where it's free, mostly up here. People are just difficult. We're just gonna go with difficult. So I can't imagine difficult people who can afford Trauma Team.
Right.
Just being so bitchy about things and having this
every detail.
Yeah, this med tech that just is so fed up where they're like, ow, that hurts. Oh, does it? Let me try again, you know?
But also, like, if you were just meeting somebody in a bar, I know, like, okay, so you meet a young lady, she's got, torn jeans and a punk rock shirt, but seems to also have blood stains under her fingernails, like, and then, like, I know enough about her personality that I can walk through a conversation, and if you needed to hire her, I know what she's good at.
Yeah.
So,
also, if your crew doesn't have
awesome.
a med tech in their party, and this might be one that you roll to help out, having a scene where someone gets shot or injured and this person, like, runs over to help them, or maybe, very lethargically walks over unenthused to help them, depending on the situation. Maybe prioritizes someone in, nomad leathers definitely over, like, the businessman who's waving a wad of cash, and she's like, nah, you can wait.
Right.
Could be a really cool introduction to the character.
Alright, I'm going to roll to see who I would end up with meeting. Alright, 79. This is one of the higher ones on the list. Freya! A former exec who hasn't spoken in 6 years. She used to work at Sleepwalkers as a custom editor for Braindance Experiences, something that she was phenomenally good at, up until a very important client landed on her lap. What he wanted horrified her. At first, she tried to delay his request by citing a lack of data to work with. Her bosses, unfrazzled, started supplying her with the relevant Braindance files and told her to get on it. When she hesitated further, her employers realized that she was likely to break her non-disclosure agreement and arranged for an accident. Unfortunately for them, the solo that they hired was a smash head who didn't quite finish the job. Freya now works at a Smash and Cut as one of the silent staff and is looking for someone that she can trust with the deadliest secret of her life, her client's identity.
You got a lot out of that one.
Right there, yeah. And, like, that's such an interesting and cool character to just meet at a bar, like... That's awesome. So, yeah, like, and... These are just two random ones. There's other people in here. Maxine Ranch, who is a 6-foot-tall drag queen in 8-inch heels. So, I mean, massively huge as far as that goes. 6 foot plus 8 inches. But, but yeah, like, there's, lawmen and there's rockers and there's all kinds of, like, just amazing people that are on, and this is just one of the lists. We'll move on to the next one, but, like, I'm really impressed by this tool. So.
I was gonna say, like, Freya, working at Smash Cut is a dance club. And it is detailed in this data pack. You might also recognize some of the places, because they're also from the Night City Atlas. Although the Night City Atlas only has, like, 2 sentences, where these have, like, much larger paragraphs about the location. But not only does, like, Games Rolling Freya give a whole mystery hook, but if you have someone that needs to look into, like, who's Braindance savvy and how to get information, you have an NPC for that. You have someone at staff, if they want to go to an EDM club, you don't even have to make that, because Smash Cut, there's already a person there. Like, you got so much out of that one NPC, and it's delightful.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Also, even execs can hire useless people to botch jobs, and that's a good thing to keep in mind, especially as a GM, because I find GMs, when they think corporate or they think exec, and it's like, yes, like, megacorps have all this money and they do all these things, it's still on, like, there's a reason exec is a role. Like, you are still responsible for your stuff, and you are easily replaceable, so if you f**k up, the corporation's not going to be like, oh, here's more money, try again. They're going to be like, you have to now fix this.
Right. Which
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, you have a smash head. Solo was a solo out there somewhere.
Yeah. Who failed to kill her. Yeah. There's a lot there.
There's a lot there.
Next up, we're going to discuss Night City. So you need a bar, but which one? Night City is full of night spots, legal or not. Here's a few interesting places that you can slate your thirst or scratch your various itches. And I really enjoy about these, which we will roll them, but that they're not all the same, like, oh, this is a dive bar, or this or that. Like, each one has its own life breathed into it, and makes for a very interesting location. So, Jess, you're going out drinking for the night. Where would you like to go?
I need a hotspot?
Yeah.
This dice is horrible. 17. I rolled a 1 again.
17?
Yeah.
You're going to Bellamia. Bellamia is an exclusive club to see and be seen at, established by a rocker boy and ultra model, Velvet Lux, who used the place for PR and for soft releases of new clothing from her executive Lux line of fashion label. The bouncer at Bellamia are issued custom wardrobe and style chips that allow them to only let the best dressed people in. In practice, this means you're probably only getting in the door if you're dressed by someone who has a wardrobe style base of 14 or better.
I'm not getting into this club. I may try to go to this hotspot. There's no way I'm getting in.
I can nearly get in. Detractors unfairly call Bellamia's what is that word? Bulimias. Which is I just couldn't read it for the life of me just then. Which is slightly unfair part since Lux's brand is emphasized on eating healthy. And for each of these, even the ones where it doesn't technically make sense, they have a signature drink. So when you're at the bar, you could order the Velvet Lush, which is Prosecco and passion fruit pulp. Costs 20 EB per glass. Yes, Velvet's just bad at naming things, but she tries her best, really.
I was gonna say the Lux line from Velvet Lux, the Velvet Lush, and I'm just like, man, we're.
Well, and actually, Velvet is somebody that you could have met in the previous list, so it's cool to see her back.
Yeah.
Or them back, I suppose.
Also, I like that because we don't see a lot of, as long as their base is at least this.
Right, yeah.
It's always like,
most of the time it's like, you can try.
This DV, it's like, no. They need to have a base of this first.
Right, and the bouncers have, like, a special chip that allows them, like, no, you're not fancy enough. Like,
I do like that it's not, like, you have to be, like, your wardrobe style doesn't have to be 14. It's just whoever dressed you for the evening has to have it at base 14. Like, they
so
need
we just
to know.
need a really good dresser to get us in.
There is a tailor shop in this list. I don't know if we'll roll it, but...
But maybe. It's possible that we do. Alright, where are we going after that, Jess? 71. My D100 has rolled a 7 every time I've rolled it, so...
Well, it's better than the ones that my dice keeps rolling. Almost the 20. So sad.
I almost got the 20, which is too bad. I got the U-Tree. The U-Tree is a slightly overpriced neo-hipster bar near the new Night City U campus, and therefore crammed with students most nights. The bouncers seem to constitutionally be incapable of recognizing a fake ID. Yet, the U-Tree has never been rated by NCPD. That's because the U-Tree is set up with a covert cooperation of NCPD. College students will drink, and they will do it no matter how many enraged calls that their parents make. So why not make sure that they can do it with minimum trouble? Thus, the U-Tree welcomes all fake ID wielding hordes and waters down the drinks just enough. Bartender Stuart Headley Keeps an eye out for anyone who's trying to get someone drunker than they want to be, and he listens to the gossip, and if anything is truly alarming that reaches his ears, he passes it on to the police. The signature drink is the slightly overpriced watered-down beer for 10 EB per mug. I like that this is effectively like the, alright, we're gonna let kids drink, but it's mostly water. 90% water by volume. And anything they say is probably being passed to the police. Like,
anything super incriminating.
Right. Conceptually, I really enjoy that. That's also an interesting idea, too, like, as from a storyteller point of view. Like, if you know you need to get in with an exec and they have a kid going to Night City U, you could hang out at the U tree and try to overhear the gossip, you know? Like,
I mean, if you just need some gossip in the area, the U tree is probably the place to go.
Whole bunch of little kids that don't know how to hold their liquor, drinking mostly water.
Yeah. I like that there's like that tie-in cooperation with the NCPD, because as we know, the NCPD is the largest gang in Night City. We know that they you know, the way they make money is to sell confiscated goods. We know they're severely understaffed. So it makes sense for them to have, especially in places where drinks flow, where they have contacts of people to be like, listen, we don't want to shut you down, but if anything major hits, let us know. And this is especially great if you're a lawman, because maybe you have contacts in some of these locations where it's like, I want to keep tabs on X gang or whatever in the area, so can I make friends with the bartender at this place to pass me information?
Right. Also, a place you can go for information would be a low-level lawman might know some bartenders on their beat, and the bartenders may pass things on, and NCPD likes to make money, so it's probably for sale for the right price.
Probably for 2 glasses of watered-down beer. Depending on the information.
Right. Now I need 2 real beers for that.
2 watered down or 1 real.
Alright, so next up, we are going to 20 people in the Night City subway. And the description for this one: when the tunnels aren't flooded and the trains aren't broken, Night City subways is one of the best ways to get around the city, and you'll meet all manner of interesting people down here. Jess, you've just left your fancy bar and
because
gone past the college.
I was denied.
Yeah. But you're riding the subway home.
Yeah.
Who are you meeting on the subway?
I don't, whoever is number 79.
79, good
I
roll.
find the subway is, at least in our game, highly underutilized as a mode of transportation.
I will say, the Indie Bandits were really good about using public transportation.
Your GM also greatly allowed you to use public transportation.
He had to.
I was like, are you taking the bus? Are you taking the subway? Cool. At the time, I wish I would have had this list, because you guys would have run into some interesting people. No, that's a lie. You wouldn't have, because that would have, derailed the entire story.
The entire story. Well, and, Blank, goes out of his way to, you can hire a cab.
And we're always like, public transportation? Bus?
Bus pass? No.
Subway?
It's late at night, and it's dark inside the subway. The lights are flickering and stuff. And a man in a spiked leather collar with a poet t-shirt and drain pipe pants. He has an enormous buckled boots, holding a bouquet of wilted synth roses, black lipstick, black eyeliner, ivory vampires jutting out from under his upper lip. This gives him an unfortunate lisp when he speaks. And he is... What? As he talks to someone on his agent, heedless to anyone else's disapproval. So you met a neo-goth on the subway. Who am I meeting on my way back from the
say, there was a lot of information packed to that, but one, it's like they did not gender, you did. So I like that it's left open when it's just like people, where it's very gender fluid. Like whatever you want them to be, that's what they are. You know, if it like it works with the guy in this situation, it's fine. But if you're like, nah, the other time you're gonna meet, you know, a girl or non-binary, it doesn't matter. Here's the overall description.
This is what fits.
Also, synthetic flowers, because plants are super, super rare. So it's nice to, like, we keep having those, like, reminder touches of
I like that they're wilted synth roses.
Wilted, yes.
They're not just, they're not just synth roses, they're wilted synth roses.
My first thought was Philharmonic Vampire. And I was like, man, did I go near the opera at some point to get on the subway? Is that where I am?
Right. I meet a pair of moe aesthetic poser gangers who have had themselves elaborately biosculpted to resemble characters out of circa 2000s dating sim games. One of them has blue pigtails and is wearing a antique Japanese schoolgirl uniform with exaggerated short plaid skirt. The other one has white hair in ringlets and is wearing a painstaking copy of a Victorian girl's dress. One of them, the one in the schoolgirl outfit, is carrying a spiked mace, and the other one in the Victorian dress is carrying a rifle case. They chat excitedly about the tea party that they're about to attend, make a local knowledge or cryptology check, DV15, to realize they're discussing a raid on the rival Princess Poser Gang in code.
Amazing.
I keep getting amazing rolls.
Like, one, this is one of those moments where it's like style over substance. Because if you just walk by anybody or someone in bag lady chic, or you're just like, oh, there's a couple homeless people in the subway, meh. Those two girls, you're going to remember you're going to remember that look of, oh my god, shit went down. Even if you fail that knowledge test, that's still something you're going to remember. And maybe it makes the news the next day and your character's like, oh, that's what that was.
Yeah, you're just like watching the news and like, a woman in a Victorian dress with a sniper rifle. And you're like, I saw them last night in the subway.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, there is, all of these have a lot of really interesting character to them. I think that's the nicest way to say about most of these. I wish, though, like, some of my NPCs, like, for the White City story I did, I wish I would have rolled some more NPCs for you guys to have to deal with off of these lists, because some of these people are amazing. Like, what if you ended up with, like, a neo-evangelicalist, or, like, I don't know, an unlicensed food seller?
Can I just read this one?
Yeah.
There's a man who is wearing a traffic cone on the top of his head like a party hat. He seems otherwise unremarkable. The traffic cone clunks hollowly on the bars overhead when he stands, at which point he doffs the cone, nods stiffly and politely to all, and exits. You see him putting the cone back on as the train pulls away. Surely a man of dignity.
Amazing.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure that's the kind of people that I met in my 20s, so I love this.
I love that it gives, like, no other description of it. It's just, like, the traffic cone is the big thing. So,
yeah.
I mean, you could go anywhere from, like, you know, nudist, if you wanted to like, high-end fashion clothing, but a traffic cone on his head. Like, is he making a statement? Who knows?
Right.
Your call.
Next up, we're going to be discussing safe houses in Night City. Perhaps your characters have got themselves into a bit of a sticky wicket, and they need a new place just to lay low. Need to hide from your enemies. Need a new place to sack out now that your mainline or output has found out about each other. No fear, we've got you covered. We've marked the safe houses suitable for long-term housing solutions with prices so that you know how much rent it'll cost you every month. I need this. I'm going to tell Blank that he should be rolling on this now that me and Deeps are on the run.
Oh, God. Okay. Yeah.
Jess, did you roll a 21 to 25 by any chance?
I rolled a 56.
56?
Uh-huh.
Alright, let me check.
21 to 25 would be great because that is Princess Land and we just talked about that and that would have been a beautiful segue. But no, I did not.
You got Lola's...
No. 56.
What? Which one? 56. Oh. You're in Dilly's!
I'm at Dilly's. I took the subway to Dilly's after getting drunk on watered down beer and question mark?
Right. Dilly's is a love hotel with a slightly disturbing animatronic mascot, Dilly the Pickle, who wears a rolled up prophylactic atop its bumpy green head, like a knit cap. Dilly the Pickle reminds you to wrap it up before you tap it. Dilly the Pickle would like to welcome you to Dilly's Pleasure Palace. Dilly is for the price of the most private lodging anyone can find in Night City. Or wait. Yeah. Dilly is, for the price, the most private lodging one can find in Night City. The rooms are booked via Vendit in the tiny lobby. Stick in a cred stick, and the Vendit spits out a room key, good for 1 hour, 10 eddy, 2 hours, 20 eddy, 24 hours, 100 eddy. Each room is large enough to hold 2 people with a luxurious bed, a clean, very fancy bathroom, and a couple of Vendits in each room. One Vendit sells food and drinks at a ridiculously marked up price, and the other Vendit sells sex toys, lingerie, and souvenirs such as Dilly t-shirts. The rooms at Dilly's are all soundproof. The housekeeping is only permitted to enter the room to tidy up once the guest has checked out. Guests may renew or extend their hire of the room via a console in the room. Guests requiring space for group activities may book a block of rooms, and the walls fold up in that case. You have an amazing sex palace with a cool mascot.
With a cool mascot and a very fancy bathroom.
To be fair, though, it would be a very secluded place to stay. Like, it's one of those, like, hush places, like, staying in a brothel is pretty low-key, you know?
I don't know about that with the weird animatronic. I don't know that it's low-key at all. Though I was having a conversation with someone about Dilly's, because it's in Night City Atlas, though not as descriptive as this. And they were saying that it would be a really great place to arrange a meet or an exchange of some sort. Because for 10 EB, if you don't want them to know where you live, we're going to meet here. I've got an hour. Yep. Who cares if the place gets a mess because it's not yours?
You can.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
Dilly's actually, it seems pretty useful to me. I could be wrong.
Also, I realize when we roll our digital dating, the next time we do digital dating, we should consider Dilly's.
Alright, I'm in. I do think we should do another digital dating in the dark
NPCs,
future, because
like
it was a lot of fun.
NPC lives.
Yeah, that was a cool episode. I will be staying at number 80 on the big list, the Dirty Hippies. The Dirty Hippies isn't exactly a 60s poser gang, but a nickname. But the nickname stuck, and they can't shake it. What they are is a group of stoner urban reclaimers who farm ganja and build effective solar and aquaponic setups. They are always welcome sweat equity and financial help to make abandoned neighborhoods. Am I still in the right thing? Yep. Yes, I am. Okay. To make abandoned neighborhoods into blighted zones more livable. Most of the dirty hippies have nomad connections to fight off forces of continental brands. They consider continental brands the ultimate oppressors. The ganja that they farm is largely to internal use, but a percentage of it shows up on the night market and gets shipped out to nomad, conveyed in exchange for hard currency. Dirty hippies are mostly commune-based, but hippies who do not agree with their local cell often wander off and hook up with other hippies, leading to a steady circulation of outside talent and knowledge. They're not perfect, though. You can seem... They're not perfect, though, and can seem rather cultish to the outsiders. Dirty hippies are often set up mutual advantage agreements with edge runners, exchanging food, lodging, and ganja for firepower or physical protection. So if you're willing to protect the hippies, they'll give you a place to stay and some weed to smoke.
Yeah. I was thinking when you mentioned that sometimes it appears in night markets or on nomad convoys or whatever, I was like, man, if you're going to a night market, that's a random, like, fun stall to just have in a night market.
The hippie stall.
Yeah, exactly, the dirty hippie stall. Or if your crew gets hired for a gig to transport cargo and they don't ask what the cargo is, they don't know that's what it is. But that could be really fun, too.
Just full of a whole bunch of weed.
Yep. And you can fight off continental brands, because that's their biggest opposition.
I agree with them. I side with them in this fight.
Continental brands?
No,
okay.
The dirty hippies.
Just making sure.
I side with them in most things, just not on Minecraft servers. But definitely their opinion of continental brands.
Definitely. Also, if you guys are ever thinking of maybe doing some farming, like if your crew is ever thinking of doing some farming, and you need, like, equipment, the dirty hippies build efficient solar and aquaponic setups, so they could probably help you out with that.
Yeah. If you're looking to do some urban farming or, guerrilla winemaking,
yeah, guerrilla
they're
gardening.
your people. Yeah.
Yeah. Not just
Jess, you wake up.
Oh no. I wake up at Dilly's.
You wake up with a new dermal pocket after your stay at Dilly's. It appears something is in it. Roll a d100.
That is the creepiest thing.
I know this is like if you take somebody out, like, and are searching their body, you may find this, or something like that. But I like the idea of, like, no, you woke up and you have a new dermal pocket.
That is horrifying. Ooh. Okay, 46.
46. A completely unremarkable pebble until you get it appraised at a jeweler's, finding out it's a rough-cut gemstone. Valuation completely up to the GM, because let's not break the game, but it's a raw ruby that you found.
I like that if you ever tell your players, it's an unremarkable pebble, and they're like, oh, whatever, and they toss it aside, and you're just like, well, there goes $2,000.
Yeah. Thank God I don't have to give him that.
Right? What did you find at yours after you woke up at the dirty hippies?
Yeah, I woke up at the hippies, and now I have a new dermal pocket. By the way, on my D10, I keep rolling 10s, so I end up with even numbers, which is really weird. I have a small fossilized shark's tooth. A souvenir from the beach, maybe. Just wake up with the shark's tooth in their dermal pocket.
Okay. I like that whoever's going around installing these subdermal pockets while people sleep leaves them presents. It's a very creepy gift-giving
Santa Claus situation.
Yeah, a really creepy one, but presents?
Right. Well, and there's some other stuff in here that's set up for things, like, a pawn shop receipt in your pocket, or, winning body lottery ticket, stuff like that. So there's like really interesting stuff you can find in here.
I like the false identity documents.
Right.
Because that could lead to a whole mission. Like, is this person, were they transporting it? Were they for themselves?
Right. Yeah.
Did you blow off their head and now you don't know? Because you can't compare the face.
Right. You're like, ooh, not great.
And who forged them? And why?
Bum, bum, bum. There's a whole shtick there you can figure out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, a reminder that you as players can get false identities. That's
true.
The thing.
These are real things. We're gonna do vendors at Mr. K's Market.
All right.
Of all of Night City's, of all the night markets and midnight markets in Night City, none are more luxurious or expensive than Mr. Kerrigan's. While he specializes in those one-of-a-kind super luxury goods, Mr. Kerrigan also rents out small stalls, tents, and cargo containers in his market to other fixers and vendors, making his midnight market the closest thing to a shopping center. Night City has, for those people powerful enough to score an invite. Here's just a few examples of the shops that you might find. Just what shop do you find at the night market?
40.
40, you say?
40. Do you want me to read it?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out what...
Phosphor. Phosphor is not anything as base and vulgar as a furniture shop. Phosphor is a curator of comfort. Clients with rarefied tastes make salted phosphor for suitably rarefied interior decor, and the shop specializes in high-tech furnishings and lights with artisanal casings and exterior. For example, during last year's Neo-Nordic revival decor trends, Phosphor was selling curly birch armchairs with reindeer fur seats and backs that also hid heat and massage pads, accessible through a customer's agent. Prices? If you have to ask, then you can't afford it.
So are these just really uncomfortable chairs, is what I'm understanding?
It's art, so obviously it's uncomfortable. Art furniture is always uncomfortable. But it's rare and it's pricey.
As a furniture store.
And you get to say, this is a phosphor piece. But it does have heat and massage in it, so maybe it's not that uncomfortable.
Maybe not. It's just when it's like curly birch armchair with a reindeer fur seat and back. That does not sound like... It feels very Nordic, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't feel like luxury comfort to me.
It's definitely not you can sit and sink into kind of chair.
Fashion over function.
Fashion over function, yeah.
Yeah. Alright, what stall am I going to spend my hard-earned EB at?
Mine's so expensive that I can't ask the price.
Yeah, you'll know it when you get to the right price there. I am at Karl's Spa and Body Sculpt. Ooh. Anyone can be beautiful these days for cheap body beautiful these days for cheap body sculpting, but to be striking, to be unusual yet attractive. That is the providence of Kara. Trained, I can't say that word. Estheticians.
Estheticians, yeah.
I know, but while scanning a client's head and body, accounting for their bone structure, muscle distribution, before custom designing a body sculpture that it's guaranteed to turn heads. These are not the bland Hollywood average body sculptures with generic presentations of beauty that we're talking about. Clients come out with features like subtly crooked nose that implies a base savagery, or a asymmetrical jawline to highlight their narrow faces, and being able to afford bespoke irregularities speaks extremely well of their wallets. So they're body sculptors that make you look funny looking, but in a way that makes it look like you're rich enough to be funny looking.
And yeah. Yeah. And not some chop shop in a back alley, so that's
right. But yeah, these are just some of the many examples of things that you can find. I love the Friends Forever boutique, by the way, the pet store.
I was just looking at that, though I was also on Bonbons, which is a custom chocolatier shop, so...
I want to go to this night market really bad. Do you think Blake will let us go?
I know you need to score an invite, 1. 2, we would need the downtime.
Anything.
And 3, the money.
Right. But yeah, so those are some examples of the stuff that's in the 20 Things in Night City section of the book. I think both parts of this are amazing and great tools. And totally worth checking out, so...
Yeah. And like I said, a lot of this may seem like it's for GMs, and it's certainly, I will say, geared more heavily to GMs. But as Games and I have discussed, it is super handy for players as well. Even just looking at these locations and these people, ask your GM, hey, can I go here, or can I know about this, and maybe get information from XYZ. They can be fantastic tools for players as well, so... Highly recommend for $8 US. So there you go. Go pick it up on
TTRPG.com. It's not a bad price at all. And this is a side note, and I'm interrupting things. Rex is mentioned in here from the apartment mission. So tie-ins to things. I mean, there's a lot of tie-ins to a lot of things, because they also discussed Forlorn Hope and a few other things. But
yeah,
check it out.
And if you're really looking for, you know, what information might be included in the Night City source book, this is probably a great teaser to that. Especially the locations, so. Yeah. And Safehouses, when your crew needs to lay low.
Right. It's a short one this week, but there's so much great stuff in here, it is worth checking out for yourself.
Really. But I think with that, unless you have any other final thoughts,
no,
that will conclude this episode.
I love the subdermal pockets.
The subdermal pockets are both creepy and cool at the same time. At the same time. You know, I will say, I do like that it gave the dimensions of the pocket. I think it does in the core rulebook as well, but it gave the dimensions of the pocket. So it's like, you know the size of a thing that could fit in there.
It's not big. It's like 2 inches by 4 inches, I think.
No. But still, anything that's, you know, within that realm. And of course you don't have to roll on these lists.
Right.
If you find something that works for your game that, you know, would be perfect for that situation, just pluck it or tweak it. Everything in here is customizable to your needs at your table. So, use it for inspiration. Use it as is, whatever works best for you. But I would highly recommend picking this up. It is a great asset to add to your world and help make you feel more alive.
It's even just fun to read.
That too. That too.
And it has a tie-in to something we'll be discussing in the coming week. So.
Bum, bum, bum. I don't know what he's talking about, so I'll be as surprised as you guys. Anyway, that will conclude this episode of Night City Sofa. Thank you all so much for joining us today. Be sure to leave a comment about your thoughts on this segment and any future things you'd like to see us discuss. If you want to connect with Edgerunners HQ, you can head on over to Blue Sky, Patreon, Twitch, or YouTube. Everything is at Edgerunners HQ, no spaces. Night City Sofa will return next week to discuss the apartment jumpstart kit. I guess I should just call it the jumpstart kit with the mission, the apartment. I don't know. That's what we're discussing.
The jumpstart and the apartment.
Yes to both. So until then, guys, stay safe and meow for now.